How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Fallout 76 build guide, and today I got my own version of the bow defense for stage 2. Now this build is pretty fun. I've made some tweaks over the last few days and couple weeks, and so far it's not bad. The build is very tanky and also has a pretty decent amount of damage and could potentially do even more if you decide to make some adjustments. So let's go ahead and go over the perk cards, perk distribution, and then show you guys the results in the defense. So as always, if you guys want to pause the video to check out the distribution, you can, but we have 3 strength, 14 perception, 10 endurance, 1 charisma, 2 intelligence, 15 agility, and 11 luck. Let's go ahead and move on to the perk cards. Now the build primarily focuses on defenses and survivability, so depending on how your fuel runners go, it can last in the later stages and the longer times. So for our main defensive perk cards, we have Brick Wall, Blocker, Barbarian, we have Ironclad, Fireproof, Thick Skin, we also have Hyper Reflexes, Evasive, and those are our main ones for our defensive perk cards. Everything else is just utility and trying to get as much damage as we can with the remaining points that we have. But this build also focuses on crits, which is why we have better criticals, 4-leaf clover, critical savvy, glowing criticals, and faulty spots. We are also using Furious, but we're not going to be going with the reverse onslaught because depending on how quickly you shoot, you will actually be losing more stacks than you would be gaining in between shots. So with that, let's go ahead and check out our legendary perk cards. Now for whatever reason, my special perk cards here are a little bit all over the place, but we have legendary strength, endurance, intelligence, agility, and luck all maxed out. Now since you're going to be using this build primarily for stage 2, you're going to want to use Take One for the team so you have more damage. But if you find a different card you want to use, you can. Now for our gear, we have a Furious 50 Crit Vats Crit Fill Bow with the Electrician's 4-star mod, which is the most important part of this build. Without Electricians, this build is basically useless. Now the reason why we have Lucky Hit for our 3-star is so we can crit every other shot using 1 limit breaking and 28 luck in our stats. Now this is important because all of our armor pieces besides 1 is going to be using the Tanky's 4-star mod. Because we're also going to be pairing this with the Sentinel's 3-star. Our primary 1-star is going to be Vanguards and our 2-star is going to be Luck. This will allow us to get to our 28 luck to use 1 limit breaking and Lucky Hit to crit every other shot. Now unfortunately I did not have any of the actual armor mods, but I would put on Betrust and Padded for your chest if you can. This will give you more defenses, the highest defenses with Betrust, Padded for the explosive damage, and then for the other mods you can use whatever you want, Deep Pocketed, Sneak, whatever your heart desires. For the under armor, your choice, I like to use Shielded Secret Service because it gives us more strength and endurance for more tankiness and more carry weight. But with that, let's go ahead and check the time and the defense. We're going to go ahead and skip up until 9 minutes and show you guys basically the max level of enrage that the mole miners can achieve, on top of how well we can tank the damage and how much damage we're actually dealing in the later stages. Now the reason why we're skipping all the way up until this part is because if you ever get into the point where you're past 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and I believe 5 minutes is the last enrage, that is the highest level that you can get. That is the strongest point that they can become. But this is just to kind of show proof that the drill is still fine, my character is still alive, and it's able to survive in the later times. Now we're going to skip ahead just a couple more minutes. We're at 12 minutes here, and we're still doing good. The drill probably only lost a little bit more health since the last few minutes, and our health is fine, we're healthy, we're dealing our damage, and we're looking good. Now one major thing I would like to mention is that this is being done inside of a custom server, and custom servers are like privates where in terms of the server lag there's very little to none. This is important because in public servers you might be able to get into a server that's a little bit laggy, and sometimes the spawns take a little bit to spawn, or not all the spawns are running out at you because they're stuck in their tunnels. So this also means with the full force of the stage is coming at me, we're still able to handle the defense with no problems. But that about covers it, guys. I hope you guys found the information useful or the build interesting. If you did, please be sure to leave a comment, let me know your thoughts, or possibly consider subscribing. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments as well. And as always, happy hunting, good luck, and I'll see you guys in the next one.